Well, I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day weekend. I'm just heading back to my house and just past this job site, new development. And I thought I'd take a few minutes. It's going to be about 115 degrees here today, extremely hot. So I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can without collapsing. But I want to kind of recap on a few things as we check out these developments. And this is a pretty good size one right here. And these homes here, I would estimate are probably, with upgrades, you're probably going to be looking at mid 700s here, mid 600s, probably 650 to 750, depending on upgrades. Unbelievable. But I think these builders are beginning to panic right now with everything that's taking place. And as I walk through here today with all of you, just to recap on a few things, there was an interesting article that I read last night on the Hedge. It's titled, "Insiders Are Dumping Stocks at the Fastest Pace in Months." Now, you got to ask, why is that? It said right here in the article, 2,150 executives, 2,150 executives hit the sell button in August. Why are they doing this? Because they don't want to catch falling knives. They want you to catch the falling knives. They want you to buy the dip, not them. And certainly they're not buying new home builder stocks, so I can tell you that. This place, as I've driven by during the week, it almost seems like a ghost town. There's very limited workers on these job sites now, which is really shocking. You would think that they would be loaded with workers getting these houses done, but they're not. But you know, you think about this sell-off now in the stock market. You look at these executives, the insiders dumping stocks, hitting the sell button. What do they know that the average person doesn't, that maybe the average Robin Hooder doesn't? These are the people that know that we're in a recession right now, heading into a collapse, and they are getting out. And many of them have gotten out a long time ago. Another article from The Hedge. Millions of Americans face evictions in coming months. We talked about this earlier in the week. I'll walk over here and show you this. It's pretty good sized houses. But think about this, as they're building 600 and 750,000, maybe even $800,000 homes here. I don't know the price of these homes, but think about 3.8 million people who are now facing eviction in the next couple months. The amount of credit that's going to be destroyed. They're never going to be able to buy a home. They're not going to be able to rent a room after their credit is destroyed. And you got to think now, with rates doubling from where they were last year, mortgage rates. Look at this. Who's going to come in and buy homes like this? They're popping these things up all over the desert like they're candy. They're everywhere. And these are not small homes. We are talking homes, $650, $750, $850, $900, $1 million, all over the desert like it's nothing. How does this end? My question goes out to all of you again. I've asked this question many times. Who is going to buy all these homes? With mortgage rates now doubling, people getting laid off, inflation soaring, and look, at some point you're going to see gas prices explode again. There's no doubt about that. Now, there was an article that I want to shift gears here for a minute. There was an article on CNBC. Actually, not an article. Well, it was an article, but also an interview 3 days ago with the CEO of Redfin, Glenn Kelman. And he talked about economic uncertainty. Now, this was an interview on television, on CNBC 3 days ago. And he talked about 1 in 4 contracts canceled in Las Vegas, Jacksonville, Florida, San Antonio, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Orlando, Florida. Look at some of these numbers here. I'm gonna go over some of this data. Las Vegas, 27% of real estate contracts canceled. This is last month. Jacksonville, 29% canceled. San Antonio, 25% canceled. New Orleans, 26% canceled. Orlando, 24% of real estate contracts canceled. We are seeing the highest amount of cancellations that we've seen in a very, very long time, ladies and gentlemen. Sales, he mentioned San Diego County. Sales in San Diego County are down 40%, 40%. That's absolutely unheard of. It's unheard of. Southern California, we're usually one of the hottest markets in the US, and now San Diego County down 40% in sales. That's unbelievable. Pending home sales down 17% versus 2021. Home buyer demand down 12% year over year. Purchase agreements that fell through in July, 16%. Sale prices are down 6% from the high of June. I think builders and investors at this point are not going to be able to hang on. They're sitting on so much inventory, and this, real estate won't go down, it won't collapse, it won't correct because there's just not enough inventory. Take a look around, ladies and gentlemen. There's homes popping up all over, at least in my area. Maybe not in yours, but when I look at the amount of construction that's taken place in Arizona, Florida, Texas, California, Idaho, there's no shortage. And that's just to name a few. I don't have the data right in front of me, but that's just to name a few. North Carolina, South Carolina. We've gone through a housing boom, and now I believe the rug is being pulled out. And if you look at new home builder stocks, they're absolutely decimated. It's probably the worst place you could be in right now, and it's going to get much worse. But as I walk through here, look around. Who's dropping $650,000, $700,000 plus on these homes? In July, we talked about the 63,000 homes that fell out of escrow. Some people at this point have just walked away from their deposits just to get out because they figure they'd rather just lose their deposit than go through a real estate collapse. They'd rather lose their deposit than go through the collapse. They see what's coming. The smart buyers who, look, if you can cancel an escrow right now, if you haven't removed all contingencies, right? That is the law. If you have not removed contingencies, you can cancel an escrow. Now, if you have removed contingencies, including your financing, it's going to be tough to get out. Not saying it's impossible. You could still get out. Depending on the state you're in, it may be harder in some states than others, but people right now are just going, you know what, forget it, I'm out. They can keep my deposit and I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines. That's where we're at right now. That's what people are beginning to see. Another article I want to share with all of you today, this comes from Fox Business. So look, I get news from CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox Business, The Hedge, Daily Mail, Market Watch, Barron's, Wall Street Journal. Get it from all over the place. And we just really have to come to our own conclusion with the news that we're getting. But I think that we're not getting all of the news. I think it's much worse than they're telling us. But this article here, Amazon to close and scrap plans for dozens of warehouses amid slowing sales growth. They're going to close or abandon 42 facilities across the country, totaling 25 million square feet. They are just out. That is a huge economic indicator of where we're at right now. Follow the money, follow Amazon. They are canceling, closing, abandoning 25 million square feet of warehouses. That should tell you all you need to know right there. It's really incredible what we're watching take place, and yet people believe that it's going to be okay. No problems. Let's talk about this article really quick on The Hedge today. Average credit debt soars by 13%, largest increase since 1999. What do you think about that? Comment down below. Why are we seeing such a huge increase in credit debt, credit card debt? Simple, because people are broke and they cannot keep up with inflation. Wages are not keeping up with inflation. And before I forget, let me remind all of you as I circle this development here. There's more new houses going up over there. some models. Got all these going up over here. The pool of qualified buyers is shrinking while the pool of inventory is surging. That's going to be a big, big problem. And another big problem is we are heading into a depression. We're in a recession right now, and they're going to continue to raise rates. And it's going to be a long time if they can even conquer inflation. But we're still going to have inflation running wild. The Fed is not being aggressive enough. They're not raising enough. They're not raising enough times. And so we are really chasing inflation instead of getting ahead of it. But getting back to this article on the hedge, with the amount of credit card debt that's soaring by 13%, largest increase since 1999. By the way, average rate, I think we talked about this yesterday or the day before, 17.96 is the average rate on a credit card now. Credit card balances increased by $46 billion from last year. Second biggest source of overall income. Mortgage balances rose in the second quarter, climbing by $207 billion to $11.39 trillion. 35,000 people, according to this article, are now facing new foreclosures on their credit reports, a jump of more than 45% from the previous quarter. We now really, what I'm really watching closely is the 10-year bond yield, and I'm watching the delinquency rate in homes, in home loans, people going delinquent 30, 60, 90 days. I'm watching the delinquency rate in the auto industry. As you all know, we've talked about this a couple times. They are repossessing 15,000 cars a day in the US. And that is usually, the auto industry is usually 6 to 12 months ahead of the housing industry. So if people don't have automobiles, how do they get to work? How do they go to the store? This puts people very, very close to going homeless. Because if you don't have a job, with 11.2 million service sector jobs out there, you could find a job and you could probably pay your bills if you cut your standard of living down, got some roommates, whatever. You could survive. But if you don't have a car, you're not getting a job. And so that's a big dilemma for a lot of people. Think about that, 15,000 cars a day being repossessed in America. We have the home delinquency rate on mortgage debt beginning to climb, and we're going to watch it accelerate. So this is just really an incredible time, and it reminds me so much of going back to 2005, 6. This reminds me of late 2006, early 2007 here right now. It's very ominous, very eerie. We've seen this movie before. The sequel is going to be much worse than the first half. So I'm now on the other side of the development. They have a lot of homes completed, they're empty, but a lot of them still in the middle stages here. A lot of sticks. And you got to think, every day that goes by, these builders have got to be freaking out. They know that rates are going to continue to go up, inflation is going to continue to go up, and this is going to just cut the amount of qualified buyers that can come in and buy a home like this. Now look, if you have 20% down, you have an 800 plus FICO, they don't worry too much about you, but those people are beginning to wake up and go, hey, maybe if I sit back and wait 6 months or a year, I'm going to get a much better deal. So they're giving people time to think. People are losing their butts in the markets, in cryptos. So they're gonna have a much harder time finding people that can afford homes like this. Look how close they are too. I mean, it's literally like 10 feet apart from that house. Look at that, look how close they are. It's a good sized homes too. But I just wanted to pull over on my way back to the house to shoot a quick video here and show you what's going on. And many of you may have this happening in your areas too. Feel free to comment down below and let us know what's happening in your areas. And are they continuing these huge builds? And are people buying the homes? People say, well, prices haven't really come down that much. Well, that's fine. But sales are plunging now. and you look at refis, they've collapsed. I see lenders and people in the mortgage business now daily talking about how they lost their job on social media, they're looking for jobs. I see more realtors talking on social media how their homes fell out of escrow, back on the market. Please come take a look at it. Come to my open house, just fell out of the market. Not the seller's fault. No, of course it was the buyer. The buyer woke up. Who would buy a home in this environment? You got to be out of your mind. That's my opinion, not financial advice. You want to buy a house today? Have at it. God bless you. I wish you the best of luck. But I'm not buying one today. I can tell you that. Look at how close these homes are. This is unbelievable. These are pretty good size homes. Look at that. I mean, it's literally 10 feet from one property to the other. Really unbelievable. But I'll walk over here and show you some of the finished ones. Don't believe most of these are occupied. Maybe none of them are occupied. Maybe some of them are, but here's the finished product right here. I mean, nice looking homes. But about 2 miles out, you got the train rolling by. You got I-10 right there. And you're 10 feet from the neighboring house, and you're paying big bucks to be here. These homes right here are backing up to a main road, so you're gonna get a lot of noise, a lot of traffic back there. Okay, this one's on a lockbox, I see. Yeah, I'd say most of these are not occupied. There you have it. Look at that. So I'm going to continue my little journey. This is my little workout today. I'm not hitting the gym today. Hit it yesterday. Figured I'd take a little day off here. I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day weekend. But yeah, I'm just going to get a little sweat going here. Get the feet moving. Keep it moving, right? We got to keep it moving. Keep the body moving. So important. So, to me, this is a great excuse just to come out and get a little exercise. Get a little sweat going. Get the blood pumping. But these are more lots. They go all the way down to the wall. You got lots over here. These are going to get ready to go. It's endless. It's just absolutely endless, ladies and gentlemen. All the way down to the wall. It's incredible. They are, I think, at a point of no return. These builders have borrowed the money, they've broken ground, they have to go forward, and they've got to be freaking out. It's going to be so hard for these builders, investors, flippers. I've noticed a lot of properties out of state where flippers came in, bought the house a year ago, did the bare minimum, slapped a little paint on the walls, decorated it with some nice furnishings, maybe put in a stainless steel refrigerator, and now they're asking $100,000 more on a house that they bought for $300 a year ago. They're asking $400, $450 today because they put a little paint on it, put some little flowers out in the flower pot, and put a stainless steel refrigerator in there. Now they think the property's worth $150,000 more. These people are gonna get destroyed. They are gonna get destroyed. They're gonna get lucky if they can even get out with what they paid for the property at this point. Here's another thing. People just think like, well, when it corrects, it's just going to correct to where it was like 2 years ago. Who's to say that this market can't correct and go back to where it was 8 years ago, 10 years ago? Who can argue that? It's very, very possible. This market's not going to correct to where it was 2 years ago. I think it's going to correct back to where it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. That's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. When this market really begins to correct and collapse, how far down is it going to go? Is it going to be another 2008? Will it be worse? Will it go down 50%, 30%? Let me know your thoughts. Some areas, no doubt, are going to go down 50% plus again. No doubt. Some areas are going to do better than others. I totally believe that. But we're going to see a lot of areas that get absolutely pummeled. And most likely it's going to be the areas that had the hottest housing markets that get beat up the most. So just drove about a mile. I think we were actually, Sid and I were actually at this one months ago, but not much has happened here either. This is a Lennar project. I will say there's more pads on the ground. They're stuccoing these homes. I think we were here about two months ago. something like that. But there are just houses popping up everywhere. So I'm just driving back. I thought I'd pull over and shoot this. Not a lot of progress going on here. They actually have a couple workers working here today, but this thing is just dragging. And now more foundations are in. It's a real eye-opener, I hope they sell all these houses. I hope everybody gets a job. I hope everybody makes lots of money, but I live in the real world. This thing is going to crash so bad. And there is no shortage of inventory now. You're going to see more delinquencies, more foreclosures coming on. Short sales will be coming back. I think 12% of all the mortgages out there now are ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages. That's going to be a problem. You got builders sitting on over 1.5 million homes under construction. So this thing could really turn out to be a real monster, ladies and gentlemen, and people have no idea. If you're thinking about buying a house today, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would really, really give it some thought. I would truly, truly, really think about what you're doing. This is the biggest purchase of your life, and I believe that this is the biggest bubble you're ever going to see in your life. So it's up to you. Everybody's situation is different, but I believe that we're going to see big sales coming. That's my opinion. It's not financial advice. Those are my thoughts, my opinion. I'm thinking out loud today. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Always love. There's so many people that love reading those comments. I read them. I've learned a lot. It's really opened up my mind. I know it's saved a lot of people's lives financially. It's really uplifted people. It's got people motivated. It's got people preparing. So it has really saved people's lives. So comment down below. What do you think about this housing market? How good can it get? Or how bad do you think it could really get? And where are we right now? I don't believe the housing market's collapsing, but I believe it has begun. We are beginning to see it break apart. The collapse has begun. Now it's a matter of how fast this thing spirals out of control. Look at this. This is going to be all homes right here. All homes. And on the other side, homes. You got homes. There's probably nearly right over here 50, 60 homes that I can see. And then they have homes completed on the other side for sale. They got models over there. Those will be for sale. It's just incredible, incredible. Reminds me really of late 2006, early 2007, and you know what happened after that. So comment down below. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Please make sure to like this video, share it, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you are alerted with the newest videos. I'm going to get out of here. It's 110 right now and getting hotter. It's humid too. We're getting a lot of humidity out here with all these people moving to the desert. You know, Disneyland building their 26-acre lagoon. Going to add more humidity, more golf courses, more water. Yeah, where's the water going to come from to support all this? I don't know. I don't know. Comment down below. Have a great weekend.